bibia ono beto ama ne nkrofo no se bia wo area fa adwenkyere bibra aha fa adwenkyere bibra ha fa adwenkyere bibra omo de ba bia okan na ya no ka chom so okay and the press conference to be addressed by any partner or the other neighbor bia the spokesperson e wo ho yen brand ntesa so you realize that yen wo ho no press conference and yen nyina me na me address because single-handedly I was writing everything nyana me research we be abema e bia the work committee ho no se bia onhwe we be beka ho I'm just saying I'm bringing this back because samre no obia titru isikasem ho na me de right up me no manual with contributions ka ho my was Dr. Mahmoud Beumia others no de beko obia amfa bibia nka na de beba no enso na unique what I say enti sana na ye ebia ono so bia maka asem bi dada maybe opese ho ka asem bi obi sam say we say no ka na say even na me de ade no nyina koma no so we're collaborating very, very effectively. And see, me who say, and cabinet assembly, a mechanical abonting because they swear he can't say cabinet and some untimin fama abonting. Untime pai mu enkentino. Near mechanic say within cabinet no soon. Adwina or chre or titru yesika a very unique. Nanui making say this concept of digitalization. I'm a phone buyer, no can say you're here to escalate domestic revenue. Sat no, they buy and you. A boy empire. Ama this year, electronic taxes. Sika na ye budget ni nim say ebe ye nsabeka no afin kwa yiye no eno kwa would have yielded in excess the idea ni to say yebenya no ebe broso close to 7 billion Ghana cedis.
7 billion
Ghana cedis.
All right, so that's the leader, the one and only Bakope. Maybe because is one and only. The Honorable Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu. Papa Machi. Nambacho Hunemu Boko there. Okay. The last time we met, now more to do with campaigning to get Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the flag bearer for the new patriotic party. You were convinced that.
Not only convinced, but persuaded as well.
This is your persuasion. I knew you. Angie, Anope, you are the flag bearer for the new patriotic party. Yeah. Yes. Even when you ceded the leadership role, you are still working. Yana yet was a quembi so. But you're from now, GS1, you will say, that's it. So far, it's saying they're now open on Sakai, but Obe can say, why yet they are share so far?
Oh, Yame, they are not married. Sakai, I see. Say, Nami Wojidi or Dr. Mahmoud Beumia say a trouble in Purdue on Anabina. Until in an Ashasi no way back. Na many penny for being a fadrin say, Cassandra and Kayan Kayadrin and Pam home. Nanka, yen say, yen build a consensus. Nanka Emma Mahmoud Beumia, and may the flag bearer. nanka yenka yadwen pam ho bio nanka yema alan koju chematin emeye running mate fa asase me bae e bono mpenifo bi ka say sa de ni nyai yento aba we believe in a battle yento aba wia e be ka bom koju samre no na me suru kakra even though na me say na me can say to about 10 times abegum nya be wini no na minim say alan so oba kunu mu ache wa press obinya Candy no with a Kufuado in 2007 anyi Kufuado ever 2012 osaben ne pray anyi Kufuado about 2016 when we pray anyi tise Kufuado asebu ne term wi na se okwa am se chemate me say ba na make say I knew at the time say trouble na Bumia was going to win na Bumia be winia na sa me na chesa na chemate be contest 5 times olusu a ebe ne ya nti I thought that Simon na me dream say one we be obi lusu no or the year be tiada so na ama tokura be da hokakra ama yi that eno na me dream ti me ka say enye sa consensus na because penifo no bi nso ni me anya adwen
so the oye eno na me dream no as they say we are convinced that Alan Nia woni ho no enya impact bia.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's any impact,
but not significant to affect your
in
victory.
my view not significant.
Abusua FM.
You know, say you shall see or no shall see and so don't want to do. I'll tell you, give ourselves the next 2-3 months be whittle away. Okay, parties TNC, CPP, more party structures or constituencies, polling stations, and Mujina so at the fight elections. And we are results to say. Results to say.
0.1, 0.5.
But 0.1, 0.5, or whatever, it could win you an election or lose an election for you. So what can I say? 2008 Yetwaba, the first round, the Kufuado needed 23,000 to have won. Wenya, I call second round, we had to depend on time to be the ultimate deciding factor. If we Kufuado lose by 52,000, 0.5% is more than 52,000.
That's right.
Then I make us say, even though the figure is insignificant, it can win you or lose for you an election. But I'm saying that the exercise, I don't believe in that, and I think, if I should put it bluntly, it's going to be an exercise in futility. Because you mean what I say? I didn't hear, because you see, if you MPP and also they say we need to be on the ticket of a party. We say you move by your party. We call parliament. Say, oh, we're near. In the unlikely event that we win, say, oh, we near. Your national constitution, say, for majority of ministers from parliament. And before they say, oh, Namia, what they are trapping out to be my DBA. You go, say, what could you know? And before I say, Massa, you don't need BBI. We will not allow you to pick any member of the party from parliament to be made a minister. Say Ojai and Wankas or NDC. It means that he has something against the NDC. And occasionally so come back could be even do NDC for criticism the only week. But between him no can be actual umpire. What I say? And no NDC for the say man for Nipa and you are. So up in issue from get-go, no, you can't even form your cabinet. And you want to create a constitutional crisis for the country. What I say? And then I make us say, to me, no, and yet worth pursuing, but be an ambition. And that's why I still think when it was a chair, bro, a champion going at their own. Nipa adeɛ and deɛ saying so no nipa to me is a sanadwe I want still to encourage him and encourage Omar Ebiamne Ewo Chaka say Biamno Ekasana say Bitimi Ejayab Asayamba. To me, it will be good for the democracy of this country, and it will be good for MPP, and it will be good for our national politics. You see, we should admit, by the imperatives of the Constitution, the directive principles of state policy. Defining the overarching development agenda for this country for us. And directive principles of state policy, extreme parties were Ghana no. You must buy into it. What you say? See, before can I know they believe in state enterprises. Constitution they say the engine of growth is private sector. Whether you like it or not, you believe in capitalism. What you say? Except that you may be a liberal capitalist or a conservative capitalist. What you say? You may be a social democrat or maybe a liberal democrat. You can't have extreme capitalists in Ghana. You can't have communists or extreme socialists in Ghana. We are center parties. MPP for regardless of your did we only belong a little bit to the right of the center. They belong a little bit to the left of the center. So, two ideologies in the war. You belong either to the right or to the left. And you go left, you go
extreme left, extreme right.
It is the reason why CPP can never grow for as long as NDC is strong. PNC can never grow for as long as NDC is strong. Do you see a rightist party now for as long as MPP is strong? Will you not find space? Because the MPP can now back. And that is why I'm saying, if it is possible for me, so beat me a bar, go bar, the politics of this country and the democracy building.
But leader, for anybody, we are looking at maximum 6 months.
Yes.
Then we'll have a new government and a parliament.
Yes.
A parliament without
5 months.
That's right. A parliament without Honorable Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu. It's that decision,
Could you do a very much break?
What bread as in Hunemu, and now what bread as in say Ghana party politics? No, every day what bread?
No, my bread because in Parliament, this is an NMC as a bed in a back if a back also. And right, himself follow
Abusua FM.
Ratri.
Patricia PJ Ebekasai. No Castle Yamba no Yamia Boas to say Parliament that pass affirmative action bill. What I say? And no Castle and Abusua Mensah Bonsu or Bois Pa near pass a bill. They run into problems. I mean, many bring manifesto. We share demo, then they call you, say, oh, yeah, we are running to head on. So I had to rush and go there. And then when we bring no more constitutional, some people were saying, say, the man, discrimination. What do you say? So then, and I'm saying, there is discrimination. No, Biako Code 2, Article 17 of the Constitution. So, send they say, Article 17, what's say? Send they say, BBA, a promote to B, class B. So we shouldn't do anything against anybody. And Article 17.
Leader, just in passing. I know how spiritual we are.
Yes.
Between the Bible and the Constitution, which one have you memorized? Or the catch them? Between the Bible and the Constitution, because the way I will go to Constitution, any the way I will come Bible, man, Nimi dunia wehena. Yeah, the dawa come out so far.
Except that I must admit, said lately, said I can't be glued to the Bible. No, a co baby na a convention biase, and my Bible, if you toy and a soft be no Timijana or family, and I'm so Panchama and Father me fire. The same who say more BBO. The Bible's in my
yellow name, blue name,
side notes, be brave. Oh, here no friend is awful. I said, this of God upper room, so it was No, sir, why you?
But you were talking about the pressure about
Yes.
one individual or few people who in parliament.
Yes, I was just saying, say, BB affirmative action bill, and I had to rush there to assist because now problems are by minimum constitution said the no right and the principal quotation was was from Article 17(2). Was say a person shall not be discriminated against on grounds of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, creed, social or economic status. What I say? Affirmative action. When he has you are going to promote a against
the rest.
You know, almost say any constitutional. The constitution, let's not read it in bits. You're kind of holistically because Article 17 now more kind. Let's read further. You go to Article 17(4) because we can 17(2). One kind for no kind for no jai.
Abusua FM.
And the speaker was presiding and said, Mr. Speaker, my team, let's go to Article 17(4). 17(4) and say nothing in this article, that is 17, shall prevent Parliament from enacting laws that are reasonably necessary to provide for, and if anything, in this case, for the implementation of policies and programs aimed at redressing social, economic, or educational imbalance in the Ghanaian society. And my you say educationally, it's tilted against society, a male society, male dominated. Family cry it because they encourage us to family man or body or the Sunday man and I trust a they didn't even address their minds to Article 17(4). So when I did, now okay, you now see where we are coming from. What I say. And from then on, me transcend quickly. I went through the bill, corrections. Then we had to be guiding. Do baby not just have a baby also. Now same honey a national service. National service bill. Again, they run into problems. And I will say we shouldn't preside. Not back being speaker, no too kind. And I was saying a catcher, or say SCB, former KMA boss, our national service director. A friend said, "You might as well. I'm from here, be an Rebecca." Or say kept calling me. They said, "No, the old number be there from it. No, yami so." And
old number, the problems about. I've had about 2 complaints. Since that, UCD Edgemano numbers and go for names your friends almost for woman. Your point no address, but you were still dealing with.
Yes, indeed.
The honorable Osei.
So I had to go and then assist in crafting that bill. Then I'll say, them I say for what I had done. Because I do baby no matter how brain I say, the page me muna mako use washroom. Was I can say me control the match say, oh, now they don't go. I'm so say the use washroom was them no go in the lighter veil. What's about me no go? So I'm just saying, say, why we are home? So you see, could not say everybody is looking up to you. We should sometimes say you mean come to me, but sometimes the running when you can suspended. For how long can that continue?
But it leads me to my next
sometimes
question.
People who should be going into these things and be learning. Oh, James Abunso won't do it. What I say. So if there's a space about people, they will be forced to learn.
Is it that ultimate training call for to take over? And I said they're okay. So there. I mean, why bother? Me,
Kasa me, ultimate training. Parliament man, and so been some good training. The way I brought myself up. Difficulties I call Parliament. Let me say, if anything, GHOne Mensah sorry, GHOne Mensah, superb brain. Or Kasa. Then this is for person who try and any moon. Yakofa standing orders. Yakutu. Some men and Yakofa for us will be any. Osei Champo. He was a master in the standing orders. Or the best brain assistance here, the speaker, and I know uphold Ramano. They are my GHOne Mensah. And mammy, yes and no. Yes, standing orders. Then the woman. So I decided to make me share. And you know about or encouraging me or parliament pound so a man me family who seriously. Hey, Collins Deuda. Yes. Collins Deuda me back up parliament, and some back up parliament minimum. We were friends in the 80s. Now they had a youth association. Omon started those days say ambassador mo pay say mo take a half free bono a half region. Those days the omo ba ne penny bia na oye mo chairman ne fe no Mr. Sebe o timber contractor. That's I mean what Bikai pharmacy chiho. Na Collins Deuda ye secretary. The omo ba ye ne omo Ashanti Society.
Abusua FM.
You fire what to do, the way to prosecute sergeant and for them go to for Pukwara or the Afaha or Kawi. Then we're trying to get away behind those obstacles. I knew Collins, we at Chinsia Secondary School those days, we were from 5. No one to us. I'm control Collins at our parliament. You call your neck Christine Amakunyama.
The former education minister.
But yeah, actually, no, but yeah, Lands and Forestry Minister.
Yeah.
And Collins was the chairman.
Technology.
Of that committee. Collins, how that meaning say, Sabi producer. None ni question. You can't chair committee, no. Just a brabia regarding Lands and Forestry. Collins, 80 me recited Mbrano at his fingertips. Say, the Collins they said, yeah, and there was a message when I'm you. What I say? Collins inspired me so much. And mammy, and your face quite anymore. Those days, Jerry Coylabi was the ranking member on Lands and Forestry.
And then the old body.
He was a year crunchy, Ashanti Region South, and a year deputy ranking. You know, Koalabi was a chairman because Koalabi no a lawyer and practice in a land. Forestry no nim on for being susa. What you say? So I decided to me complementing our forestry angle. No, the law say related to forestry no, I then applied myself to it, and they brought me my mission. Until me say 1998, just no took New Zealand. And I said, me uncle. What do me call you? What do me translate? He encouraged me. He said, you have a future. I said, you will see a chance, you know. So, when you yadma, I was so impressed by the encouragement Jazanan, the speaker at the time, gave me. So, the American say, I pull myself up by my own bootstraps. And then, Kojo, the additional factor abemu amanipa adwen ko parliament adwuma no so no ye kono esika se nipa ayi musa nesika se ni primary nesika se ni musa o nesika se ni enne ni aye no eni dwato abemu na wo kwa ayi okoboko na wonsa hye omoto mu na obese e wo kura mu na wonsa fudi ochi na wo de bu amade kakra to so no onko drum ra shebe jefi ho no wadoso what you say enti wokwa waye ha and I keep saying in politics there's no Father Christmas enti wokona say yes openisika hate enti be dem okra no ontra ho onenam opisika because constituency obeba no wenye bibi kakra anto ha hey na no no eje de wonichi oh enti e ma MPs no nya akoma pan fan sua parliament adwuma no oh nti eno na ma difficulties aba say no but we you side here we are bikura poma or parliament so nti o say do baby a Boni say sometimes you bow out when the applause is loudest and that is what I've elected to do.
I would get back to who you and what you would do after based on two things, but obviously, in the kind of politics that moye and the experience that when young, how have you left Swami? Where jay young kana say, what do we cheer jay?
Oh, Let me be blunt. Me can't say me nkobio.
Abusua FM.
Ja me to my constituency executives. Say omo mate se nipa bi eba. Omo nye omo assessment. Na omo mami no betimi a replace me in their own view. Omo na wo form. They came back to me subsequently and said, say, omo ko share no. Nipa no apart from me no omo adwen akosi say omo fama MC no wo so ame no. Masolo Fusubuachi. Masolo had been my special assistant and sana assemblyman and sana okoye presiding member asana koye municipal chief executive. So I thought that someone say ono will be a meeting no aye adwuma yi. So the support no senior watie no ne senior wonim no call contest na nyi nani pafofo ebae Mr. John Darko aba John Darko no the good thing is Musa na metibre mai no ni fie na me diagro nti ni nuanom penifo ne wo fafo penifo no me ne o mte say brothers even ni nua peni amwa o na onini omu nua peni baako ni nua peni pa efera mankwa na ye me contemporary na sa me na pipe bone water ema efera say brement ni so na ye kozu ye ko champa muni mu ko sensu ala papa bi na me ko school wo so am ye lenti no na me sorry a de wo ko so sa me na efa fomo ni akọ so ntem be 5 na ko nsu no na mo no fie wo nsu no kwa so nti bi du han makobo mu puru na mankwa na mo ma sha se na mo nua baako o ma me I think it's my last born or so no e de akosua mi refidi no o ta Canada for some nti me akosua ne amankwa ne ko so like before mo say eye be fie ho am ko senia me eye ba me fie so na say o mo fa baako ko teacher if you no only first person the first teacher we have only first person I call Canada and the name no so ma if you from the break call Canada we na me tu kwa nti ma mo akobo nsa o mo di na o ma mo kobo nsa o ma me so there's no problem except that no personally a few things but there are petty issues that I think we can resolve in any event.
Is it to say it's not being resolved?
No, say we can resolve means say problem the bar you won't be for dakro enye you keep resolving and trying to tie up whatever loose ends until you get to the bottom. And me sure say whatever is there no we can easily ultimately deal with it. After all we are in the same party. So say uja ochiness we chinsu the obeba no so anhwe so ya. Say ne man sa tete abansam. So and so we will assist in whatever way we can. Me man contest no program from bia no I've been assisting. Maybe much more than he or no other friend has been doing. Registration exercise, I was part of it. I contributed. But I contributed. Magazine I'm more even though that no more magazine no meant me and Kobe. Maybe be I am 90 meant me and Kobe. If I first day no cry no be whom who say ye nanti ye kofa bo me afi yana owo e de neighbor true van e ko mu na wo say me fa shortcut. Me ko translate because na me na ha me ade che na me na ho no timenti an ko magazine but you say awotwe wanko wanko guane wanko guane ugwa ni ngomako
o be can say constituency ho no enye at the top level as in between wo any the candidate but then omo a war form no and a fomented trouble within the constituency. Because I hear snippets of near man, near day. I mean, for you, memete our own.
The thing is, we are in a human society. He goes to election, you don't support him. He wins. Or to those of them who supported him, and I say, oh, we have triumphed over Kyei Mensah. What you say?
Abusua FM.
that is Sunny Nipe Bifano. I didn't contest. What you say? Meaning, if I had contested that, then came to me, there was no way he was going to win. But I elected not to contest. But having said that, sometimes, send your workers be occasion what snipers. Workers we didn't in the chair. And yes, we had the 2 years and can win them down. And you ignore some of them because sometimes they be if you so they were not too close to Kyei Mensah Bonsu. To feel say be no no direct beneficiary. So we are supporting a media. They think some people think there's some monetary bill and crime. I'll shake here. We go from us to it's not like that. And to me who say if I don't assist her, it's difficult for him and for the party. You see, I can say break 8, you can't break 8 with a divided front. What I say. I know what happened 2020. They may contest it. So we any pay support. We be free baby by as well independent. Yeah, party for be broke away on the underground. Eco support. What I say. Eco support. You say, oh, young Kona go good anymore. So here, some government go yes, I be be pre no. We be kumu and ne omuna support candidate no. And are you going to pay them back? No. So yes, sir. And yeah, the wound in the party will never heal until you close your eyes over these things, then patch it up to move the party forward and also be able then to position the party to break the 8.
Leader.
Yes, sir.
And okay, Zimbisa and 70p. Metna ha jese me din komo me espouse your quality and all of that. Yes. That my party you as a running mate. Me point ya no be friend no say na wo ha ho leader na no or the Dr. Matthew Poku Prempa ko say yem fa no nam say leader de na wo yem sa we a personal question. Why did you support Napo when some of us felt that between the two of you would have done a better job?
First of all, I didn't know because no, be mana say as a contest den Abusua FM. Masa one of me do my day. We never have a P now most of the because me sweat.
So your way is your front.
And the party constitution. The party constitution. Article 13. And anya obi o tenje na ko choose flag bearer no na yima no. What you say? Ono ena okuyi nya openo say onye ni the vice presidential candidate. It was say the parties in Article 13 clause 3. So the party's presidential candidate shall, in consultation with the National Council, nominate the vice presidential candidate. What I say? Party no presidential candidate. One will ye. Ena we ye no. Ena wakubisa.
Abusua FM.
Wakukachre National Council. Ultimately, the nomination is done by the presidential candidate. And yet National Council, or say he does it in consultation with me. In a me, the man was say, me bisao. So, as I'm catching, say, be a team pony. Who would team pono, council ni team pono would cannot influence the decision of the presidential candidate. What I say? Constitution, you should where they say you should do this in consultation with be a bisanajune. And as even when they say do so on the advice of Nipa Asmesino, still the final decision is from you. Obet me to the phone. Also, what to me for the answer? Young go to me, because ultimately, no many are to about me. He said, I didn't a queer mena a boom, the uncle in some neighbor boom. It can't be a boom, and a foot to night about Emma. What you say? So the matron say, could you presidential candidate no ono na yini nipa na nkrofo bi a started lobby from e bi nipa ni bi o ho na omo ma no yese ase ye chechire dia koma no. You can't do that. Constitution in mouse akwa no cresse me fan say 2021 me started san komodia na me ka lan sem no fei ikoduru ya me hu say de obegina na saade na ye kana mo fam tiri nye no hono na fei komodie ni koye say me ko papa na ho I'm talking about 2021. Say, in common with be ekoni. If you're making common akudroni, na I say, I feel my copy. Now there will have to be elections. Yeah, elections now. You say you improve obewene. You should begin now to think about who your running mate is going to be. You did home komo. Komo di any day. You PM with the main country.
And Niema me disappointed in numbers.
Indeed, the vision is a comedy no, you did, you know, and you see, so, so, Casse, what he says, me could propose to Dr. Matthew Poku, a prempe, and many idea. Many didn't come more. If who his running mate should be, there were options. Ye kombu o mamu nyina amenka me mono tofa onu ofisrim nti o say won't me nkofo bi mfisrim also ba south be for bi so ba south bunu no na hafu nyina ye south so we started looking at our regions no Ashanti, Eastern, Greater Accra, Volta, Central, West ye nyina ni nipa amumu the pluses and minuses, advantages and disadvantages will be so and a year's assessment and a buyer BC Ashanti then you don't need I was in the Panifi Ashanti region after doing the assessment in all the regions I was in the Panifi Ashanti. That was the conclusion. Now who to partner him from Ashanti, so and a fee and also him and Jinaisi Bibem. The Giano coin, the Senate Macana, and no make catch it when ye, and because they Benun Como. So, until we decided about what was going to be best for the party, but the final decision, I want only decision. Also, we did me and one and me boy say, be who is the same is in 77 previous. Me so much our party, and we change one. Until be I was say, me wagging say, be a match was a lie, no. But the final decision makes a cultural constitution, I want to take a decision. Until then, you have to leave him to take the decision. So the best decision was taken for the best interest of the party by Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Alaji.
Your proposed candidate eventually became the running mate. So far,
me can't say I won't walk. Me say
I'm taking a leave from conversation.
Me say you didn't come up. The final decision, one will take the final decision.
Yes, so your proposed person,
my proposed person,
yes, became the candidate.
Me can't say
so how far so far as far as Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh is concerned, is he indeed the one Obema Dr. Mahmoud Baumia de here in this region winning 2024?
Oh, me just say, oh, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh bitimi abwa or kwine be so. First of all, let me say, oh, say, Alaji Baumia, say, make a office room, we cramoni, to Bas South, oh, some fa cramoni, we for Christian, Matthew Poku Prempeh, or your Southerner, or your Christian. So, a bino. Who are banning a year. There are three arms of government: the executive, legislature, and judiciary. America for a presidential system. In the American system, in the American system, say governors, any parliamentarians they present, and this are governors, any parliamentarians, and any ministers. Why? Because American ministers normally are technocrats. We are technical people are present in the bar. Maybe you say, but women, we don't call her commerce, we don't call her trade. They are experts and consultants in various areas. They will work value addition or labor. We will do in the governance, Nankasadi, governance, parliament, Napo, or ye parliamentarian, would be in fee a dunsia 16 years, 4 terms as a member of parliament. Now, me can say. MPs be briba ya na mo adwen si emrahye bedwa na dwuma so no eyie no so me kana mama exceptions a mema Napo as one of the exceptions obaye one ni nua panin obiamwa ena ebaye o ni senior and so primary college
Abusua FM
obiamwa ye eni chairman anto meba in your penny and an ebony will be a more. And just say, your poem parliament, pepe, na put not in office. Na me can no say, make I a baby, I'll buy na ye dinkombo. Na me can't say more parliament. Backbane was the majority leader, Nana me minority leader. Nana me can't say me na baby and Tiase no fano, a quaint person of zoo. Menye surprise as my kind on tia say na ye wo school na me sua iambic pentameter no. He was still dealing with prose.
Leader.
No dealing with prose. The point you know. Ena na po ba me was say a book no I iambic pentameter me man be kai. And I'm so nye book. Na a style of poetic writing. Enti benene ya na poa roba ya iambic pentameter no. It tells obiana oye kadu obisuade. Within the fold of NDC, another person noticed I Haruna Dusu. Or call radio program, ako cancel tiao. But we should say, I didn't know ye no kokanaze ye ubiko expose you and how much the Haruna will come to you. Say, I do ya mrawi am here. What was the purpose? And I say, listen, say, you saying, which in my danger was what radio so now you should.
What they are,
but again, so such a person. Na sana na oti ayi mutaka sana mutaka zote. So I'm being candid, and you see those people then were able to learn parliamentary procedure and in manema what I say nti sana na poti nti he's bringing a huge package of parliamentary experience and knowledge to bear ewo if anything
context
the ticket. So the tickets may if I have to be forthright, we are talking about debate. I say emraso nini manema be chicken out. Say you reduce about running bait in Zwa between Napone a Professor GHOne.
Take off your MPP. Between the two of them, who would win a contest?
The vice.
The two running mates.
Oh, I have no doubt at all in my mind.
Take away your MPP.
Me say I have no doubt at all in my mind. See, GHOne was rising at the university level. So, professor of English language and so on. So, it's completely different from governance. It's completely different from governance. Kamala Harris. I obey me. What says say I'm offer the record in Parliament. Say na ye mra we can say inti wadwini. Ye mra we say inti wadwini. What you say? emraye and it tells your focus. I don't know. Jen only sad in be. In terms of the executive, they say, Ministry of Education. And do compare track record as well. It's crystal clear. Me, yeah, kohopi. Once they make us say, because the vice president, vice president. In terms of the executive, there's a president no. What you say? There's nothing within the executive that the vice president doesn't know. And yes, na poor co-education or co-energy. He has performed well. But me, as far as I'm concerned, the greater weight out there could ticket any parliamentary experience. So until the mat ticket we MPP ticket we make said this ticket is stronger than the Kufuor Beumia ticket in 2008. Yes. Because 2008, the big person there was the Kufuor. Oh, the Beumia also know if Bank of Ghana and Nabo as an astute economist. But in terms of politics, no way or no kind I was a greenhorn. What do you say? Until now, waiting in a Kufuor do a bit. Beumia now 16 years into politics. So 16 years into politics. Now Kufuor Oko Preno in 2000 against Kufuor. So in 2000 against Kufuor or pray. Now Oko Parliament 4 years ago. So okay. Kufuor by Obano no di 12 years. No di 12 years. But Beumia ko 16 years. 8 years as a shadow vice presidential candidate under Kufuor. 8 years as vice president. And he was share BBA executive.
Abusua
FM so abba with parliament experience in the country. Because I ticket here much more balanced than Kufuor Beumia in 2008. So to hear 2008, remember when the BBA in terms of votes. 2012 was better. It was better when 2012 he combined force with Aliyu Mahama. You saw the results that came. I feel in terms of even politics, only in Tino, I feel the Supreme Court. When we could so what I say, it was then maturing, unlike 2008. We do 2016 in the Nafi. Why giant firmament of MPP. And because I say ticket we are stronger than the 2008 ticket. And that is one of the reasons why I'm encouraging me say we can win and we must win.
Right. Another level of the discussion. So MPP say almost break 8. Leader.
Yes, sir.
In all sincerity and the challenges the economy and war. Mobile break 8.
They say it is possible.
And they say
to God
I as a flyer no done baby.
To God everything is GHOne. Yes, we must admit say since 1992 about Fourth Republic
Abusua FM
party be yes. So but the parties tend to more confidence. Rawlings leaving the scene or the button no a man Professor Mills. He knew Professor Mills was going to win easily and succeed him. What gave him confidence? For no, he had been a tower in the NDC, PNDC, NDC, 19 years, continuous. So it's going to be easy. But I need, and I go for buy. Go for buy, I go for so corner. Name him say, yes, you are winning. So, anything, na time, I be the na tetra hiase na die ena Mills ni Mahama bai Mahama had the opportunity to succeed himself. Thank you. Extend the NDC rule no, to 12 years. He was so confident to say okujina ye say party campaign platforms wa na afi sebi trim there I will need to win ye no. And penny he says obey custom dear confident of honor. Oh, because the be among the big keke. Mokaya Monchachi Mano. President of the Republic. Why? Because no you're sure. Because you know you're sure so I win ye. And you have know the same boat. He mixing neighbor. He was very sure. And so you try to be and that's why I'm saying say it's difficult. And I will say regardless of the difficulties, I must admit it's difficult. But it is possible because when we lost Kufuor's time, in the history of the Fourth Republic, that was the time President B, the regime, a fiswo, will lose with a very narrow margin. What I say? President Office will lose with a very narrow margin. What it means is that, and if you ask me, once I say take it now, and yet very balanced. The other reason high, if you ask me, was the 17 gladiators of Mutisi Muzombepe of the succeeding.
I said you get your growth.
I said you get your growth. I'm Mr. Simo. Omo manya successful. Ibi ba be boa for the campaign. But many of them so am. Many of them so am bakra. Etatra asi. Ama bi mo hokra na omo se ma fe no mo kafa kufu ado ho na nye. What you say? Sa ne man ka ho na ama ya wini. So make us say the first one you lose by 23,000. So san ko no e be gina mu ya 23,000. Omo chita for no could have brought their supporters together and get my winning. So we lost by a whisker. It means it is possible to break the 8. Because Mami admitted you say in 2008, admittedly, the economy was in a better shape than today.
Abusua FM.
That makes it additionally difficult. And it means that we should work extra hard. The economy was in a better shape because, of course, they are rebounded from IMF. What I say, we're coming up strongly. And COVID in Ukraine, the Roma, and even any man so a year, near year or May, the energy sector problems are never whole. The banking sector bailout. So now so these four things together the core down. Economy and you grew averagely at 7% after Mahama. You grew averagely at 7% because when Mahama they play baby Ujai, see, apart from Rollins, 1983, our buyer, big grew, some may just share buy, I hit almost zero. We grew in 1982 at 0.2%, some then 1983, from 0.2, near about 1%. What it meant was that you grew economy by 400%. What I say? Then 1984, any I phone call discussions. I'm a bit more could buy 1984. Check the records. We were then able to grow the economy at 2.2%. Another 100% growth. What I say? Those were crisis periods. Now, apart from that, a bar fourth republic. There's never been an instant that will be a grow economy at this rate. Now, following year, what make 100% growth? It's never happened. Ekufuado ne buy the Mahama a jano would be grow at more than 100%. What I say? I'm talking about 2016, 2017. And then we plateaued, averagely 7%.
But isn't also because of the IMF conditionalities? Because you inherited an IMF conditionality from 2017 to 2019. In fact, your government extended the IMF arrangement for another year. Is it not also more of an injected IMF arrangement? Intinana more successful in the economy then?
I would not. I would not rule that one out completely. But government now can also buy, the initiatives are being introduced here. IMF, a year strict conditionalities. They will not allow you to do to involve yourself in social sector development. 2017, they free senior high buy, which under normal circumstances, so we'll call strictly according to IMF planner, they will not support it. But we said this is a social contract with them, with the people. We are going to do this. Eventually, they rather caved in
and supported it.
And supported us. What you say? Because we say new government, and we insisted. It'll be my new beginning. I'll tell you, say NDC for one community. They couldn't do it because we started here. If a new same government continuing, it was going to be difficult. It's the reason why John Mahama was saying so. Because what him say within the structures of IMF, we know he didn't know say it was a new dawn.
But leader.
But let me,
please.
So I'm just saying, say we realize that there are difficulties, challenges, and that means that we should work extra hard.
Abusua FM.
We should work extra hard. In Tinra, so team ya, na me kase running mate, and chema won't to me. I go kase 85% of the votes in Ashanti. Let me say, but we should be realistic. If you say 85% there, and you want a year in 2020, 2016, we should double our steps. Why? Because since 1996, our best performance has been 76%. And I said it there. This is 85% there. Now they say last 2020 we scored 74. If 74% will call 85 there, 11 percentage points are they come. So untimin jefi unko try reduce now unka so ebenya. Agrono any form. Ntini yena wo say ye hit ground no. Ye serious house to house campaigns. What you say, and everybody must get involved. Now me can say Kwame Nkrumah was organization decides everything. He organizes, the women organizers, the youth organizers, and the organizers nankasa. One more, and I was here tiwo mugumuma. You making sure say we visit every house.
But visiting the household in itself may be okay. But how does it convince? And these are figures. Yes. When you pick petrol at say 16 cities or pick it at 18 cities in 2017, and we are now buying petrol beyond 65 cities, you pick an inflation of 15%. Now we are looking at inflation beyond 20%. Your debt to GDP was beyond 65%. And then we even went to 80, beyond 80. More bomb homodyne. But our debt to GDP is still not in the numbers. I can say, oh yeah, Juma. You picked unemployment at 6-7%. Now we are looking at unemployment 14.7, 14.8. These are the realities. How do you break it? Leader.
We can and we must break it. What can Petro asem? Petro asem no. Purely exchange rate differentials.
Yes, but then you have a vice president who is an economist who gave us all the assurances. There's a CD depreciation, a dollar there. In fact, Onoane organo.
He had never said anywhere. Don't put words in his mouth.
I'll concede and take you are always my boss. But how do you explain it?
I don't know.
Because he's the economist we've all known.
Yes. There are two things. Once I can exchange rate in
Abusua FM.
I didn't be any arrested the situation. So if you are comparing, seriously, if you are comparing 1.1 to about 4.4 that you left it, right? The exchange rate using 2008 as a base year, at the time the NDC was leaving, had escalated by over 300%. Using 2000 as a base year, it has escalated over 200%, 300%. So say, what is the exchange rate? It's not 300% as you left. Oh, sorry, not you. Sorry.
Never mind. The people who are listening understand. You can't the politics of Ghana.
Yes, as the NDC, as the NDC left it. So even there, even though the figures, so we hear nominal figures now because it is true. We must agree. Say a cost. But in percentage terms, the NDC is worse than NPPD. That doesn't mean say it's good.
But even in percentage terms,
yes.
And internet can say for the more corner and then I could do in common, or a businessman, or $1,000, and our $100,000. $100,000 in 2016 would be a lot of money. The same $100,000 in Sena or Kopibia, he needed somewhere around 40,000, right? Or 4,000 to be able to get that. And then say pay the same $1,000 now, a quadruple to be able to raise the same $1,000.
Quadruple is a 300% they are making.
What I say?
Quadruple 300%.
Yes, but so and then say me per $1,000. Next say me nyesika bibri as against 8 years ago. Now when me can percentage as someone. Oh yeah, sure. Say the magazine person.
No, it is difficult. I also want to translate now. What is holding against us? More the NDC time. Send your building reserves. The reserves. When I say Morinti, I'm hinting in January. The Bank of Ghana at the time and Thai. Be stabilize if anything the rate management the Bank of Ghana. Now you must respect the independence of the Bank of Ghana to some extent, even though they work closely with government. And he set more time. That's what happened. Otherwise, Cassidy, at the time they were NDC was leaving. Over 6 cities to but then they were able to manage Kakra because of a Bank of Ghana intervention. Now saying, I'm a bear, I'm a phone no. And a man, now saying the by you. I'm a phone no, a Bank of Ghana intervene. Even though if they could do, your reserves maybe for the time, you built the reserves they could do, Since independence, you could do that.
Abusua FM.
We went to as high as close to $12 billion international reserves. Ena omo ebi balance ya ma afi reserves so te ba eba from came down to just under even 7 billion. Yes, a bare 4 billion day. Now mo dey abe support system no. Say now we some be support ya nka nyesa, but IMF want them some money money. They should operate as independent. Yes, so go here. They say reserves na you call just did I say under 7, under 6? You say assign building. I'm within 1.5 years. I almost started engagement from just about 5. They say assign building. You num close to 8 billion. Also, we see the need to appreciate it. You more a bimbra system to balance out. I'm saying they will not allow that. There's a regular support also, which is about 50 million every week, 200 million every month. I don't know. And so, and in reality, and let me see the same in Sonia. Me can't but speculators about system. And now here, the rate here is better than the rate in Nigeria. So people are coming from Nigeria to buy to Nigeria.
But the central government, no, block the loopholes and ensure that
central bank, the central government. Didn't I say, Omode ABI by say, even forex, forex rules, how to manage them. Any a could be almost so. We are Kwesiada. Contributions from Mungrove. No Mako, a black market.
So your enemy is known.
Yes, your enemy is known. But you see, those things, you manage it in a way, and yet a slash and bend. You don't apply slash and bend tactics. Yes, you are obeying still fear in the system.
Yes, but the Omo Yen so collapse the general economy.
Absolutely. Until a Bank of Ghana. So here, the past by 1 month, we've been coming up with guidelines and regulations. So even some of the banks operations, they are going to closely monitor them because someone who say some of them are facilitating Sanyama. Indeed, a big task, I must admit, in terms of managing the forex. But Nina, they say, and Nema by no so yen, they didn't even home. Happily for us, both the two major parties will be asking, I'm going to encourage a greater agricultural production, not only to ensure food sufficiency and food security, but to also allow for the excess to feed into factories. That justifies the one district, one factory. One district, one factory, no. It was just supposed to give us a beginning. You hear more than one factory in a district.
I would come into that because the Commander Sugar Factory and the politics that came around it. But NSC, I still want to be in Ashanti Region.
Commander make be
okay.
It was going to be an exercise in futility. I still stand by that.
Okay. That's an interesting one. I hope that I have enough time because then you dream but you can figure if you near Basantia. I mean, you're too about because you pay impuntu. Obasantia, a day pan over 40 MPC, Mwabwa vice president, then a president. Na modia breya, obi betimi den and says, so say, this is what MPP has done for Ashanti. Mo promising 5 interchanges. Mo my continuation of some projects, the free zones area project. Then Convanoche was supposed to be a completed project. Then the agendas of hospitals. Sincerely, one constituency. And then pana some more rounder. Mo be demonstrate to say that we any. And yet the but the we.
Abusua FM
constituency. Na me sha CF.
Abusua FM.
Kojo abaneti mai kakra. Abaneti mai kakra kufu ado abai health facilities. Magazine ya health facility ho. Hospital ho. Remind na a community hospital be and Kendall Bedu a champion time never started in 1976 and I'm abandoned ye and see why Copim me by 1996 and I'm started saying me and kakra na saying any year Diama SDA for Morani hospital no my GMPC for Abeboya mi another health facility or chronom Quapra. If you did also want to be gumuma you operationalizing the MI. But the facility, the building is there. Yenya abai the major health facility yenya was the same year. Anomani. Omabi. And the FD nyina wo. The President Krana menene kana no percent ka bosumi ye wi ekrobe obe commission. Yakase sia wo mu ye kwan ayeko facility no when you quarantine because baby rango phone be a quite fine one place a cocono just about 200 meters the other one knows the fan say be what they find be 250 meters. Nimi no 500 meters. That is less than half a kilometer. Until last week, and I mean, rango for no kasaya, or Madaruma, Amaso, or Moba, in fact, Nansanene and a penny frames were manco for Akori. And I mean, mini hunting because I said, oh, Mr. Momuni Assembly, no, through the arrowhead of the Assembly, the chief executive, in lazy Namonkoi. Now, because Nansan and Mokam so, a manco for Ako. Now, a name also my young case, and Mrs. Yanama Omakoso. So that by the close of the month, and as I need be crano, by the first half of September, the president bit my commission. So, he bit me like a quine. That's why I'm acquiring Nanya Crow. Like a cracker. Igusua.
Abusua FM.
New roots, ya pie or honor. Bebre. Ah, ye. Melcru. One place. Na inya bibia wo. Odwa kwa you know 1 inch of sapeting kwa promo. And then Melcru Township. About 7.8, almost 8 kilometers of road near Yewo.
Abusua FM.
And so, Rangu, interchange na compare one. Access roads I can't a GHOne, I can't interchange in hono. But I takwa breakdown ho, eko fa misread dunum side, eko si soka gas. Mia makonta ni fi any more time. Enimu and the kofa see soka gas ho rango phone access roads now more yeno a part of some interchange no I won't say almost I be another one ewo anmanye nkwanta hono post office hono I won't say omoye omo planty stills bi ho also there's going to be an underpass to the interchange, until there's going to be a flyover. Now, the air qua no mania no so no, or my ye, I'm not to see Anumania. Uko Bush crew, Uko Mercru, Neuro Junction, there's another one day, and Sana, Wako, Bush crew, and so a hodiano. The Kojo, a quine ye, will be our table crew. It was a hot drains near any navy. Nanka contractor no eko ka egumu no wako guso na ja sensem ye ba ya ama eno akamu kakra ho ni nkontwuma ene even manyu kwanta ye ke post office chiri ho enyina no ayi drains no ebi ho a ko be ka egumu on se sugar gas ho nankasa ekusi ni usuame ho de yaye sa akwana ni usuame ho nankasa ntemu nso yaye akwana bebre nanke ni ho ti e ka kwan ya eno so de enyam no schools e wo so amentem ho e ka le bi ha se me ba ayi swame ene ne importem from Osei from Abusua FM e kusi krono schools are now wo ye ntem ho nyina no na aye I think 14 or 15 but me ba ye schools are e dia ka ho over 48 and now my dream was schools so because you me what's that make can say you be my quite a fast cause you for some barefoot and I would do necessary from Sako so I mean it was difficult and then they were say kono say enkwama nku school a omuni da che bia o kina my dream was on educational promotion and a scholarships the man kwara no and many ade di kakra and kan ya de akufo ado a time be transformers to improve the lighting system in the community no I be pa mini transformers no ebe to apete so am krom news so am magazine ho ankasa obatakwa oba macro anomanye eba Bremai UGC Abusua crew anom na obekọ kronom kwapra abohia kirase ni nyina no sa mini transformers na ba ye importem ho no kojo over 600 mini transformers. And I be stabilize it right now. Now, life stability in the buy, together with assembly. No, with me, I call praying Kania. A brew, assembly members. No, bia the become important. The past me 8 years ago. The past 4 years, Kania, they bread assembly for no say more from a ball, which a man contem. Over 4,000. Over 4,000. They be called baby ama a yaba. So we had ye and says CB so. So these are the things that we have done. What I say? And they are quite. So I'm assembling Maka. Okay, Ashanti Region. Now the total road network, there's 78,000. So say on my morning is close to 103,000. Kufuado has added about 25,000 kilometers of road to
Abusua FM.
Yakwai. Is it back to it?
Osei.
Evidence. The rules issue, the figures now, moment. Because I always hear the minority disputing figures, no, but on another they will do a cross check.
I don't know. I'm a quarter. Even as of 22 or the bar parliament. Actually, name I have a copy of as a leader, no mamma back home. See, the commercia. Because you say, name says, I did bank up the bank, maybe bank and economy. And only up to 2022.
Oh, okay.
Is there? Would you have made so one listed way. You see, and that is what has been done. In fact, at the time, 95,000 kilometers. But I say, if you have 2022, is it be sometimes on a kind of harder that some immediate they're making a virgin areas America. Let me over my concerns a virgin areas America. But sometimes you want to quite be harder that. Okay, become what people don't realize it be out the ball, the same stretch out the ball. To see Santasi Quaya or Moye. Santasi Bequai, Rudy Amoye. From a wife group, I say. If you do a carriage in Indian Santasi, what trust Cocobin, Aircon, second order. And I'm obey. So I for Quanos who more yena. Now, do a carriage now. A family,
Abusua FM.
So, say no, or more double no, I'm not a fan by a 4, higher 4. The Kojo, yes, Aquana, a Quanadao. But you realize what the ball can. What about the stretch of the road?
That's right.
Sir. And some people don't realize, oh, no, be quiet, what is not reckoning? They say, so I know 4 lanes there. What double the stretch of the road? What you say? A quan also no, if you all corner there, 1 lane. A 1 lane, ufa no afa. It is all continue dual carriage, no car, what double no. And then a year 4 to either side. So you have increased it not by 100%, but by 200%.
But we are talking about a part here within the region. There seem to be, I say, there are still divisions, and then I'm told by my colleagues now, I'm call on and say some of the regional executive were not present at the launch. If you are aware, how is that? Say the regional organizer was absent, the first vice was absent. How do you manage an emergency?
And a cranny, baby, na me wono.
Abusua FM.
But me in Casse Manti, me teen subsequently. The point I may be fee, which is as I say, regional organizer number. On the first vice, no, we're not there. You say another person.
I think there were 4, as I'm told by my colleague.
Yes. So would you also pay consultation on? So, and no come who been yatisa committee, the conflict resolution committee. Na yeah, said because if Fabiano in Tawantawaka Crow, could you ye wow fee? Are you saying say bibia eda boko?
Hakura ntawa.
Ye ni pay dey say na no. Mpenifo say dua ben na etwi. What you say? The important thing is say we recognize it. Sa de no say bibi ba na fe escalating could do baby na fe reservoir na yedin.
And so you are sure that you will be on top of it?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, enra no mpo no. Enra no nansane the conflict resolution committee met and the advisory committee to the main committee campaign committee also met. I was part of two meetings now she as that day and we recognize as any man say a person any brain ye sim ye break 8 number recognizing the difficulty involved want to mean call into battle with a divided front.
Abusua FM.
There was a patch up the problem there will be an intimacy. The advisory committee, we decided, say, after the campaign launch, Takrade, Bekumasi, na Yabetra, from the regional level through constituencies, through parliamentary elections, na primaries, we did bear 4 days, that is from Tuesday to Friday. We'll be able to resolve those matters.
Now, you are the chairman for the party manifesto. You obviously, a Nema party in Bepese Omobeyan, which I'm told you are doing the launch somewhere next week. Where Kwesiada we are. The Dawa Nimi, the manifesto now say you take a leave from this is the constitution. But what is it in this manifesto that should get us seated?
Oh,
dear.
Wait. Why is it Satan? Or the Eve Koshe baby, you know, can you be away?
Dear, what is this in this document led by the Honorable GHOne Mensah Bonsu? Dear document, dear any womb, really?
Oh, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and this was the womb.
Yes, but and then Ebema Kwesiada Chinchina Yanko Pebi Yanko Tibi Edian. Aya.
And I didn't know yet. Or no any swadi what we have tried to do. And they say no Kokasa. University of Professional Studies. And son no, but we are Wakasa baby brave. Because I'm consistent. Duty no. Nafi, and you are no. How do we set that in the constitution? My catcher will say, or may the overall development agenda, the framework is set out in the constitution under the directive principles of state policy. Dina Okoha on our political objectives as to how to develop the country politically. On our economic objectives, quite emphasis and find chile or minor Emma economic advancement and that's the improvement in constitution. On our educational objectives, on our social objectives, in our constitution, even international relations, so quite say no say first. The raw vision of the national development is set out in the constitution. Until we know how do we situate it in the constitution? And no, any
Abusua FM.
Na Ediamanti, Edema no. And if you know, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he's an experienced person. He, if you ask me, is a microcosm of the Ghanaian society. I didn't hear. I say, hey Papa, I will be any no. Alaji Mumuni Bawumia, a politician.
Abusua FM.
Politician. He started well. Actually, and Yama a Basakakra. It was me secondary school. Or secondary school. Name a Bremu ye deno. Now was say sometimes or go by day. No, there no. A farm hand, a by day labor. Namu a schooler, what do you call butchery? Say, what do you think? Let me treat taxi. ko runkukum ko ye factory adwuma o wieye okochirade as a teacher, university lecturer or ba Ghana or the call Bank of Ghana ko ye adwuma ekufuado ekopochi no ebe no running mate ene enam so amana be vice president say wabenya suahunu ewo politics muntino wabeye a presidential candidate. So I'm saying say we will be a oye ofi form kra no wapeja abaso so nti omanfo no obi adadwene ye dadwene oni ni obi a FM fena obi a FM what you say nti he has his own ideas and ideas no represents that of Ghanaians but then nyina echi no o say nyame nko ana sabi nyansa ne nim de omitrim yedi franka na share nsem no the experience the knowledge the intelligence a wonye nyina echi no o say society ne dynamic ti bia misuma betra esoro he kura no a say me na fofo kura ndi me ma me hoyi ebe niam abase ebituma sesa ofo ndi me say me kuti amanfo. That is why we see from uti ubia obe kuma say how na magazine we dey
Abusua FM
oni ahemfo di nkomo oni businessmen di nkomo oni market women di nkomo oni taxi drivers di nkomo oni lawyers di nkomo oni doctors di nkomo oni MPs di nkomo oni lawyer fo di nkomo oni judges fo di nkomo oni obia di nkomo so including drivers and drivers mates oni omo di nkomo so what is oni drivers mates di nkomo ya dawa fo nkomo di nkomo oni drivers mates because one was say we mate do no obia di nkomo ti omo so adwene no ehia omo organized labor omo ne omo hye bia no o selling idea no to them ahụ o say me say interactive mo so madwen ye mo say but ehia ye no a omo kasa no na me I was taking down notes of omo nsema omo ka ye wia anyimre no we mu call ye no ye ni we mu ko share no say no mo ka ye wadwen ye o say mo so ka say we mu de say de maka say no enti we de ne betom say we san ye no when we finished ono no nsema o kan na afie kabo mu ne meetings o ye ni na e kabo mu de ye manifesto no.
Okay,
and the manifesto is a composite and sieved ideas of what Ghanaians in general think should be the route to development.
I have less than 15 minutes, but I have 15 minutes, 15 questions, all for you. Meaning how we'll do all of that, but I'll try.
1 minute, one question.
Okay,
I
don't know because of said yeah, we detailed in your answers. I don't know whether I can do 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. But Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu today a Japadia book. Your comment or document? I call it a document. A Japadia document. Is it your comment?
My comment is that I don't believe it. I don't. It's not. It's mythical.
But I have read it.
Yes, I'm saying that.
And all that is in the book, I am seeing it.
Oh, hey, book will be actual.
Yes, document. Why do I keep saying it?
Me say book will be actual. Masa, oh, what you hear? So I say, say me kobo krono.
Abusua FM.
Asem kana make. Me kojo mafu. Say me pese me kobo krono. Na watch your book. Say me kobo krono. Na kwa me fa book krono ni. Say we are book na watch na wa cross side with the picture at which.
Document they say leaky.
No, me say na document na bo picture there. Who is going to do that? Who is the author of that document or that book? Someone has a book. Who is the author of the book? Book be actual only author.
No documents. You have document people pieced together. Oh. My worry is that whatever it is,
it's a book that we're informed have been written to project this a course of their chimps.
Oh, okay.
Sana musha say no more. Now, and some day woman no a say oh na sa yi we kura no eda sa web page we da and obi akotwe and odi abeka ho. Now people want to believe this.
So you have doubts.
Yes, I have doubts. a mythical. No serious-minded person should believe this.
Interesting. Interesting.
Let's be serious with ourselves as a nation. Let's be serious with ourselves as a nation.
My time will not allow. I'll let it go because there are other issues I want to engage you on.
And they were breaking into the bank of woman for ministers be accounts numbers we will say what banker account number ni and Fifi Kwete organized a press conference and spoke to these things. When he came eventually by Professor Mbezi, Deputy Finance Minister, he began a question over vetting. What did he say?
I've listened to that interview about a day or two ago.
Well, I see. What did he say?
But my next one.
Oh, he answered to one answer.
He said he had no evidence.
And no cry no. Actually, who you know, or be cancer in a cry. And he says, "Crime bench now fire cancer in a cry." Was what none of the kind. Let's be serious.
I'll book an interview off studio and still deal with the Japanese. My next one.
Yes.
You've worked with how many speakers? I think about 5. You've worked with Justice Dievanan. You worked with Sechi Hughes. You worked with Bamford. Alajiti. Okay.
Alajiti, Sechi Hughes, Bamford Ado, Ajaho, and Okwei
and Bagby.
27.
Your worst? Your best?
Oh.
Your worst speaker?
Let me reserve that.
Your best?
My best speakers would be Alajiti and Justice Anan.
I see.
Justice Anan, not because so much of what he did. I see, we were just coming out of a very tight military regime. No, the vice chairman. And now, system no more person be call back to constitutional rule. And they share that to man as a wo, ya tiku. The DNA in a court round, say Ghana for say a year. And they organize the system in such a manner. Say baby the majority of people who appeared before Womono said, say, we don't want to return to constitutional rule. Because they come say, you share KTI. Now, obey menu, obey menu.
Oh,
Ebe can't say, return to constitutional rule. Or any be, I know what can't one or more count. Ebe can't say. So, per se, of a constitutional rule, Uncle region, Uncle Kansas. And he was part of group of Rano. And he just said within that group of the some people were saying, Yempe. Can you believe that? Nipa yasma mose monko tia man for adwen. Obi me no cancer no. Because GPRTU come entry at the time. Come entry so na for pounds no me offer. Kodwa de magazine. So when nipa for be kasa no, kasa one the party policy and pamba ofi be kwai. Na party policy be di ewu or be kwai. Nti what the party policy be ba be kwai the 2 years kind be chase you. I'm quoting his exact words. I feel Yasana Numba recommended say and go back. The same community then found himself in another party, NDC. Nipa was the MP party. I feel I could the NDC. But so Jasanan was walking a very tight rope. So that was what manage send a bear man for Besenia a friend say a regime parliament. Emma may say parliament and be obstructed executive. He was always walking a very tight rope. Especially when he called parliament, said 1993 boycott, 1997, things were always difficult for him. Until he negotiated, that's why I'm saying, say, that's our skills now, or employer now, to negotiate the turbulence of the storms. He did well. But in terms of developing parliament, and so the one who did best, unquestionably, is Alajiti.
Okay. So, the Honorable Kyei Mensah Bonsu that I was hoping that you'll be picking as running mate, or you'll be in a choir. Yes. Honorable Kyei Mensah. In Dr. Bawumia administration, a chief of staff.
Abusua FM.
Prince Kojumafo.
And then when you say Madam Fenina na dey go on.
My name is Asena. Oh, sack full of appointments now.
No, but I mean, if we can't have you in Parliament, we should still have you in our governance structure.
It doesn't lie with me to say ambassador.
But I'm told that Bawumia listens to maybe when some of us are speaking, he would hear. So, eventually, you will be out of Parliament.
Yes.
You will say in an unlikely event that your party does not win. Would that be the end of Honorable Kyei Mensah in terms of the politics of this country? What are you looking at, sir?
Oh, Debbie. Me free Parliament, I mean, free politics. And I'm a free Parliament, I mean, free me party. A coin be also meeting a boy, party to grow. I'll
not send the name now.
Me trust the growth of democracy in general. In fact, about a week and a half ago, I don't know. The president equipments local governments.
Yeah, tractors, and
so I don't know. Na me co-function. Me in your back and I will you lecturing.
Whoa, the former local government minister.
Former local government minister. And I catch him say, is she a was now I don't know who decided to say Uncle Parliament view. And also, no, you can't make help. Say, no affirmative action. I saw how they were struggling until you came there. So, why this? Anyway, so what do we do? How can we assist Parliament to grow? Electory. We must think through. I will come and then let's think through to see how we'll be able to partner and then assist Parliament in the best way possible. Because say yes, Parliament betons you. He literally telling me that. The way I'm saying, look, and it is because or no any Husseini Nusa Abdallah Animedu Benada here for no me mom do baby ana and me so say papa yem baby ana se nipa bako and I saw the potentials in them and I recommend him a course be London. He went twice. Don't buy enough or more dream a BA or legislative drafting in particular.
Abusua FM.
Did not say, unfortunately, Mom don't go in apart from a new dunia here for Macau. They think I should bring them together and how to assist. I'm saying, Mamma, ye manifesto launching. Now I'll bring the group together near Tracy. So there's that goodwill. So from both sides. And I believe that when we pull together and they know the patriotism is a bit, and I think we can think something positive to improve the governance of our country.
Any presidential binge be shown December. Yes, you. I mean politics must say never say never.
Abusua FM.
Say in the lead up to Bawumia people I've met a lot of people who are encouraging me. Say I should contest, given the parliamentary experience, the vast parliamentary experience that I have, and so on. Minority leader for 8 years, majority leader for 7 years. In fact, that time, no, maybe 6 years. Say Tino, I'm say I'm ready to have memra. Let me down say. I told them bluntly, say no, maybe my bet had been on Bawumia, and it's the person that I'm going to support. So Bawumia be winning 8 years. Let's say worst case scenario. So if we don't win, I know will win. But game BRD, you prepare for worst, you prepare for the best. If we don't win, if we don't win, that's a John Mahama win here. Any 1 year na Ghana for Africa win here.
Near 1 million penny.
Yes, any 1 year. I know a lot of things that are going on now.
Is it because you've messed up so big
that
a change would necessarily not bring the change Ghana for?
No, say I know what is happening in the political scene. Parliament and MA because the NDC think they can win. Until the name be
Abusua FM,
which is not going to help this country. It make us say in the unlikely event that we don't win, let's say NDC win here. Any 1 year in Ghana for Afi, MPP Afi Baumia. So I'm just made the basis to say. So say 4 years simple no after 4 years, or 8 years. That would be 12 years or 8 years. See, I'm making this is 7 years. But this is 7 years. It is a 7 years. That's a 12 years become one. Say, nah, I'm 80 years. I feel I'll copy president at 80 years.
Okay.
And I say even 76 years. I think there are areas that we can do to affect government positively. And I think
when your assistant starts working in, I know my time is up. So, but then in 8 years, more into me and you are here. Na yenya ezichire commander.
Catch yourself commander factory no. Me and this day bano. Could you make us say it was going to be a prodigal waste of the resources of this country? Make us say ye. I didn't hear. Could you hear? Commander sugar factory no. Na ewo ho no. The asase and the hono yedi a ye wo commander ho no. They say about 20% of SARS and our commander is gone. I am for Nafa. It's gone. The assassin car about 75% pay. What's also name so no more outgrowers. Or the other side. Sir outgrowers, commander factory no call for no. Or converting in to oil palm plantations. What you say? And this has as a ketwana cano, ain't mean feed the plantation, the factory. That's number one. Number two, is that you need irrigation water to feed the sugar cane farms. What you say? So what we keep was a call Takradi by road. Wafa beposo. Ebi a toll boot no.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say prana wo hono ano. Ne nchen pen na kanena na sugar commander no ye adwuma no. How do no draw water they call commander eco feed eco irrigated farms no.
Wow.
Yes. All the pipes are choked, but of course pipelines with me a relay. In so be na dey koye say adwuma no. In so na galam say ase no no. And na wo koyi na what tieni na de kugu farm no so.
But your government said you repackage it and make it better for us.
Masa me it's me masa me madwin na obisa.
That's
on right. This one I'm not speaking for government, I'm speaking for myself. Me say me can more time sorry me can no NDC time.
Sa no ma ye me
sorry.
What yama onso oye me bi no. Untumi na ye me sa.
Me dey sometimes e bia na papa am frame kakra. Me chia no.
Hey, me papa di pa.
Me chia no pa. What's me nya time.
I'm sure he's listening to you.
What's me nya time na da kro me dey me pe be sene motomade bi.
That call it.
Na me call because you were so calm when we were discussing politics. So and I me submissions are me yeah na for years gidi me yes saying he's one person who influenced me say you don't need to shout to make your point.
Abusua FM.
Enti sa shu no okotwe aka odi guguso a yese osan ko tie ni what you say yese ko purify. There's nowhere in the world that irrigation water you purify and na you use you add to the cost. What you say? Kojo, the third and the most dangerous thing Emma factory in Timmy Yajuma. Probably so say fish a woman you know. So
yes,
I didn't know.
I'm seeing
Abusua FM.
And young, even if say ultimate sonny and soon so many at that huge cost, so the irrigation in bar. The poison na a confession. Every one soon no more be feed into the cane sugar. We be produce any food and drugs by catch say sugar in your wholesome. Doesn't make sense to go and do this.
On that sad note, we would have to. But leader me das. Nyami shao. Say that your tone suffer wa oje bread na oba. You be send him come obi. Abusua FM have taken 5 extra, but I'm sure it's good. God bless.
Darling, for me shade you.
Hey, Wutrimuya would de.
Na me dear mia, yanum edek SM bitters. Ama me ho asepeme. Na wonso sisi yare eko. Ama emu atene.
Ayo, ejuma. Won wo kunu anom edek SM bitters. Ena woni agye. Be ma no so sisi mu atene. Eti ho celebration. E de se on tam function achi wo ho. Nimu na ebete ye. Wojam ejuma edhek SM bitters. Ayama me ne wife no. Me ka ade beche say ebufu nketenkete ne emunimu na nyina twam na me I'm not surprised aduroi say edu heba clinic ye wo man kesim ba fi kurom na ne nkrabata nso wo Accra odoko official town en wo ye minim say apemfo abata omo manufo ene nkwada wo ni fie dunwotwe enka ho na nya nanso e wo Kaishi drug lane dodo a omanfo kokumase Fredimens brekum newborn ena sunwanso cap heba ani etufo frɛ 055 837 9545 and answer 0243 989 368.
FDA aji ejadi nkrato yatum.
Me baduni amengro mabra wo pe. Hey, na wani na adi a wo je oba grosan. Na adi a wo nyame nam dota mu a, owo personal natural health care so aye. Eno na di bani